Yo, what's going? What's going? Back at it again, every day, same shit. Fiat farming. Let's get it. Fiat Farm number 3. I just dropped off this little order from IHOP to this lovely young miss. I love delivering food to females. I swear to God, like there's just something so rewarding about delivering food to females. It's like it's not like I hate guys or anything. It's just like, fuck y'all be so hungry for, man. Like, where are the females at? Little off topic, but that's just how I feel, you know? I'd much rather hand off an order to a young, lovely lady versus some dude. Like, what? Like, like, why would I want to give another man some food? Now, I'm not gonna go there. It's not that type of video, but man, I'm getting it today. And my plan is pretty simple. The last couple of days, I've been just straight fiat farming for Bitcoin. But unfortunately, it is that, well, fortunately some would say, but unfortunately in my case, the weekend is almost over. That's right. It's Sunday, October 5th, and the market is going to be open tomorrow. So I don't get to dump all of my cash into Bitcoin. I actually need to get a bit of liquidity so I can get this engine back up and running properly. Because, you know, in the long term, Bitcoin's gonna outperform everything and anything. But tomorrow, I don't really see Bitcoin going up 70%, unlike these SPY call options. You know, we're probably gonna see SPY hit 575 this week. If the sentiment continues as is, we're looking to enter a whole nother type of bull run with the government being shut down and everything, and I could easily see SPY hitting 575 within the next 2 days, and that would be a great move to catch either on futures or just on, you know, regular old SPY. SPX if you got it like that, but I certainly don't, because all my liquidity just entered into Bitcoin. But my goal is pretty simple. I want to make at least $100 today just for liquidity. And, you know, if I have any extra cash, I'll put that into Bitcoin. I always try to make a daily Bitcoin buy, but I've been going pretty hard for the last week. So, you know, if I don't get a sizable position on Bitcoin today, that's totally fine. You know, I've pretty much over leveraged myself to the maximum. So if I have to miss one daily DCA, you know, it's not gonna kill me. It sucks, it'll hurt, but you know, it's not gonna kill me. The fuck am I doing with all this Bitcoin, your ass? Nothing. I'm not doing shit with it. What are you doing with all of your money? What are you doing with all of your cash? Just sitting in a bank account, right? Your bank's lending it out 10 to 1, giving you 0.00001 interest on it. What are you doing with that money? Cash App's literally just an interest machine for a lot of people. And it's like, oh, why are you holding Bitcoin? It's like, well, why are you holding cash? Why aren't you holding silver coins? Seashells, you know? Fucking dogs. Why aren't you holding Dogecoin, bro? You gotta get cat, man. You gotta get fish. It's like, it doesn't really matter what you hold, man, as long as you hold something that you want to hold at the end of the day, not something that this world's forcing on you almost, you know? Because if I told somebody to go swap their currency out for another one, they'd look at me like, heresy! He speaks in heresy! Heathen! You know, it's like, I'm not gonna tell anybody what to do with their money. I might make some very, very strong encouragements for people to, like, you know, go get some sats, but you know, I'm never gonna tell anybody what to do. Especially when I speak so highly about sovereignty, you know, it's almost kind of ridiculous for me to demand anything of anybody else. I can't make a request of anybody. I can't tell anybody what to do. They're their own people. They have their own dreams, their own ambitions, and sometimes it's just completely polar to whatever I'm talking about at the time, you know? That's why I'm never, ever, ever gonna tell anybody what to do with their life. I'm just gonna tell other people how I am positioned for mine. Now, why am I sharing this information? Well, because sometimes somebody needs to hear it, you know? Somebody out there might stumble across this video and be like, damn, I'm in the exact same situation as this guy, and I have no fucking clue what to do about it because it looks abysmal, hopeless, and bleak. And trust me, the more aware of it you are, the more it fucking hurts, you know? Because they say ignorance is bliss. Like, if you know that you're cooked, it hurts, you know? But if you don't know that you're cooked, then you know you can have a nice life. You can have fun. You can go out with your friends. You can do all the fun stuff that everybody wants to do, you know, because you're completely oblivious to your situation. And I used to be oblivious too, and it was amazing. But unfortunately, I can't go back to that, you know. Being aware is not fun, to say the least. The more aware you are, the more you're gonna suffer, unfortunately. But we're gonna try to find this apartment. It's one thing I don't like about DoorDash. It's like literal fucking like Easter egg hunt, and you're trying to find like the one apartment, and it never makes any sense. It's like, all right, you got building 2 right here, you got building XYZ, and then you got building 14 up here, and then directly below that is building 1. And it's like they're looking for apartment like A647, and it doesn't make any fucking sense. So we're gonna go ahead and give this a shot. Maybe we'll catch something nice while we're out. Hey boss, is this building 4? Yeah, appreciate it. Let the games begin. Literally, that makes no fucking sense. Like, if that guy hadn't helped me out, I would have never found this apartment. It's like unit 41 and like 47. It's like, what happened to building? What happened to unit 42, 43, 45? Like, what's going on, man? What the fuck? This dog right here scared the... I like dogs, but that shit scared the fuck out of me. I appreciate it, boss. Yep. Imagine there's like just a dog barking in your ear, and you literally have like no clue where it is. So it's right here. You just can't see it now. All right, and that is that. Mission complete. And we just got a banger order. What the fuck? Yeah, so just did this little delivery. It was like $10. Not too much driving either. It was like 4 miles of driving for like $10. A lot of people say like, hey man, $10 isn't shit, you know? I wouldn't even roll out the bed for $10. Understandable. But then again, what is $10 really gonna do for you, you know? $10 in cash, you know, you might be able to stroke yourself with it. But $10 in Bitcoin, that's a power play. $10 in cash, you might be able to, you know, maybe get a burger and some fries, like a really, really cheap ass burger. But $10 in the stock market or $10 in a call option on the right side of a trade, well, any traders out there, you know what $10 can do if you're in the right position at the right time. Now, who's ever in the right position at the right time? And even if you are in the right position at the right time, do you even know that you're in the right position at the right time? Like, jokingly, I was in an ETHA call this week, and I was like, oh, Ethereum might go up, da 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 da. So like I was clearing out my account, and I was liquidating a bunch of positions, and I was like, I'm on margin right now, so I might as well just go ahead and open up another position while I wait to pull all my money out for this week. So I just jokingly opened up like an ETH call this week, even though I'd already had a really big green day. I was expecting a retracement, and with the way these fucking like ETFs work, you know, it's like if a day goes by and you lose like 40% of your position, regardless if it moves or not. So I was like, yeah, I'm probably gonna take a loss on this, but it was like a $35 contract, but it ended up going up like 100%. So I really could have just like dumped my entire account into that jokingly made position, and I would have doubled my money. So that just kind of goes to show, like, it really is about just being in the right place at the right time. Like I saw it going up, and I was like, fuck, you know, I made this position. It went from like 35 to, I don't know, like fucking like 48 or like 42. I think I sold it for like 45 or something. So I might have made like $10 off of it max. But later in the day, it hit like 78, you know? And I'm pretty sure it went higher than that. But that's besides the point, you know? A little bit of money that might not seem like a lot to somebody can make a lot of difference if you know how to allocate yourself, you know? Like I said, it was a $35 position. If you offered somebody $35, you know, you might be able to get like a fucking pizza and maybe a shot of some Lalo if you're lucky. But if you're trading silver right now, anybody who has the balls to trade silver at its all-time highs, you know, all you have to do is just wake up, market open up a silver call, and then just 7 extra money, and like it moves slow. So it really does move slow, but I'm probably gonna trade silver this week. Like, SPY's gonna go to the moon. Everything's just gonna go to the moon. Coinbase is gonna go to the moon. MSTR is gonna go to the moon. Everything's just gonna moon, and I'm just gonna be stuck in a silver call. I don't know. Like, I genuinely do not know, but like, silver just prints. I just don't get it. Like, gold and silver right now are basically the macro trades. Like, if anyone here is trading options on GLD or SLV, it's fucking ridiculous. Like, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. You're making like 500% a day. Like, you've been making 500% a day for the last like month. Like, if anybody who's just been holding gold calls, like swings on gold going out like a month or two, or maybe even out like a week or two, bro, you're loaded. You're literally loaded. Like, you're so fucking loaded, and it just prints. It just doesn't even make any sense. You're like, huh, this contract has like a 40 delta, but for some reason I make like $90 for each $1 move that it makes. That's why I really like gold and silver. Like, they just print, and I think they get like a printing multiplier or something. I think they get like a buff to how much money that they give you for some reason. Like, there's a premium, and then there's like the delta on top of the premium with the IV, and then on top of that it's just the multiplier. So it's just like, you just print. So I'm probably not going to be able to do that this week because gold is super expensive, and if you get caught on a silver retracement, it's going to make you fucking sick, man. I swear to God. It's going to make you so sick. But all of my money's in Bitcoin right now because I truly believe that it's going to outperform all of my other positions. Every other position I could possibly dream of, or I know is going to go to the moon, or I just know if you buy BM and R calls right now, you're just going to print at light speed, They're just gonna keep printing and printing and printing and printing and printing and printing. Like if I just dumped all of the money I had right now into BM&R calls, I would probably never have to work again in my entire life. But I still believe that Bitcoin's going to outperform that, you know? And that's the level of conviction I have. Like you have to have a certain type of conviction to see money being made in front of you and not take it because you think that another asset's ultimately going to outperform everything else. And it puts me in a really difficult spot, you know, because it's like easy money, free money, make 500% in a day, 1,000% in a day, rinse and repeat on the daily, and then just dump everything in BM&R calls, and you're basically just set for life. But instead, I'm buying like fractions, slivers, slices of Bitcoin, you know? Amounts that are so small that like it doesn't even seem realistic to actually want to try with it, you know? Like sure, Bitcoin's having a great week, you know, but it's still fucking like what, like $123,000 a coin? Like even if you like fuck, that's like a quarter of that is someone's down payment on a house. And I'm just gonna try to get like as much of the fraction of a coin as I can. Let me tell you, it definitely takes a certain type of mentality, but I'm pulling up to this hot spot over here off of 5610 North Highway 35. You guys know about 5610? This is where the real hustlers make money. I'm about to make $25 off of this order, and all I have to do is just drive back up to where I live and then just go get some gas and then rinse and repeat. So basically in the time I've been on this video, I'm gonna make like $35. My goal for the day is like 100. I haven't even been out here for an hour, basically making like 35, 40 an hour, and I just started, so things are looking pretty good. If I can crush this day, make 120, everything else is going into Bitcoin. I might get a little bit of Ethereum. Well, anyway, yeah, so if you're watching this video, you might be like, oh, well, whoa, if you know that BM&R is just gonna go to the moon and it's gonna print like, why don't you just buy BM&R calls, take the money from your massive profits, and then just put it all into Bitcoin like you claim is gonna be the ultimate asset? That's the fucking play. I'm giving you the play right now. Like, honestly, that's a winning strategy. If I were to just take all of my money out of Bitcoin, dump it in BM&R calls, at some point, I'm gonna like, it's just gonna do magic. It's going to literally do magic. But unfortunately, there's this little thing called human error. Now, human error basically says that you can be in the right place at the right time, the right spot, and have everything working in your favor and still fuck it up. I can have a play that is going to do magical numbers and go to infinity and beyond and still fuck it up myself, you know? That's the risk, and that's a risk I'm not willing to take. Especially if BM&R goes, that also means that Bitcoin has to go. So even if I make 100%, 200%, 300% on BM&R, that just means that I'm gonna have to pay 75% or 100% more for Bitcoin, and I have to guarantee that I maximize the amount of profits on my BM&R position to even be able to ensure that I'm able to buy back the same amount of Bitcoin that I'm going to sell into the market. That's an insane risk, and one that I'm not willing to take. Because BM&R is a company. It's gonna do magic. It's gonna do it's gonna do everything that I want it to do and more. But Bitcoin, though, that's a power play. That's the difference between making money and making a power play. A power play says, fuck you, I'm gonna do what I want to do. Money says, you know, now you have more money, you can buy whatever you want. You have more fiat to spend into the market, and whoop-de-doo, you can go pay off your debts and be happy and buy tons of drinks and buy sandwiches and whatnot. That's what money gets you. You can buy things, you can spend it on things. I can take the money from BM&R and then go diversify my portfolio. Nah, I'm gonna make $100 today, and then I'm gonna see what I can work with this week. Because if I'm not able to make magic happen with $100, then I don't even want to risk taking the amount of capital that I have in Bitcoin and trying to put that into this volatile ass market. BM&R is scary. I was the first time I traded BM&R, it showed me what was possible. I was down 40% and then up 40% within a span of like a minute. I literally went down 40% from my entry, and then up 40% from my entry, and then back down another 40% from my entry, and then up like a 50% from my entry, and then it was so fucking volatile that I wouldn't even know where to get out. Like, it was so fucking volatile that it was going up while I was going down, and I was on the right side of the trade. Now that's the thing with these volatile ass stocks. And if you've traded MSTR before, you know that it doesn't even really matter if you're on the right side of the trade. It just matters what strike you have, because the IV is fucking bipolar, and then the theta is like blessed by Hades. So it's like, if you're trading an out of the money contract, you might as well just pray and set a limit order and hope you get filled at some point, because you're going to be losing while you're winning, and at some point you're going to break even but win the trade. It's weird. It's a very weird situation trading volatile stocks. Anybody that trades Tesla knows you can get a market open Tesla call that's out of the money and have Tesla go up like $6, and then either you get stopped out for like a 40% loss, or you make like 30 bucks. You see what I mean? Like, you have to trading those sorts of volatile equities and expecting like a massive return. You're taking a huge risk there, boss. All right, got that order. Let's get straight to it. Yeah, so that's why I'm not really willing to take that risk, you know, because it's like, if you have a good Bitcoin position and Bitcoin goes up like 5%, bro, you're gonna make like 500 bucks on the day. Like, you're gonna make like $100 on the day off of just owning your money. And then at some point, you're just gonna be infinitely rich. Like, in order for you to sell Bitcoin for another asset, or to day trade with the capital from selling Bitcoin, you literally have to look in the mirror and say to yourself, hey, I'm going to outperform the best performing asset in human history. And if you can do it, props to you, man. You really shouldn't be watching this video, because unless you're here for entertainment purposes, I'm the last guy you want to get insight from. Now, me personally, like, I will go out on a limb and say that I'm a decent trader. I don't really make any money, but I don't really lose any money either. I make a lot of money, but I also lose a medium portion of the majority of that money. So it's like I'm kind of just teetering on red and break even like most of the time. But for like out of all time, I'm still pretty red, and that's natural for most traders. Like, if you're getting into day trading, unless you're trading futures or on a prop form, you're gonna lose most, if not all, of your money before you even start to make a little bit. Now that's totally dependent on how you're set up in life, you know. Because if you're like in fucking high school and you're learning to day trade, man, well, congratulations, you've won the game. You're basically day trading with training wheels on, and it's impossible for you to lose, because I hope you're not paying most or all of your living expenses. But if you don't have any like real living expenses and you're day trading, man, bravo, man. My hat's off to you. You are probably going to be a millionaire. But if you do have living expenses, then depending on those living expenses is going to determine your tolerance for risk, you know? Because whereas I could open up a $1,000 position that has the potential of 10x, bro, if I take a 30% loss, then I'm basically out the water for all of my bills, you know? And that's what a lot of people who risk their own capital have to come to terms with, you know? I'm not a prop firm trader. I do trade futures, but I trade futures more as like for fun, you know. I trade futures to learn futures as that given skill set, but I primarily trade equities and options, so I risk my own capital. So whenever you see these guys talking about, oh, they blew up their account, now they have to reset and do all of those things, bro, they might have lost like $45 or $75 for that month just to keep the subscription to their prop firm. They didn't actually blow out everything they've lost. I've lost everything. I've lost every penny down to my name. I have blown an account that was literally my life savings. There is a big difference there. Trust me. Trust me. One, you don't come back from. One, you do not come back from. The other one, you just wait until next month to try again. So, am I going to risk all of my capital to get rich quick overnight? Or am I going to put myself in a position where I literally can't lose and I'm basically guaranteed to be infinitely rich? And the more that you put into the position where you can't lose, the more the faster you get infinitely rich. Like one's a power play, the other one just makes you money. So I'm going to give you guys a bit of sauce. If you just want lulz and laughs and you just want to make just stupid money for no reason, buy Solana. If you want to get insanely rich, buy Ethereum. If you want to take the power play of the century that will literally determine the course of future, the course of ages for futures to come, buy Bitcoin. For me, I like to have about 80% Bitcoin, 10% Ethereum, and then like 5% equities and Solana. But how it actually works out for my business is it's more like 60% Bitcoin, like 20%, 25% like liquidity, and then like 20% like equities, including Solana and Ethereum. But how it usually ends up is it's just like 90% Bitcoin, because, you know, positions can get liquidated. You know, ideally I would like to have some liquidity at all times, and I'd also like to have my favorite equities. My favorite equities right now are Circle, MSTR, and BMNR. I kind of like Meta, but I'm not really a big fan of any major Mag 7. Meta's a good company, but, you know, I would just buy them just because like they're the best, but I wouldn't necessarily buy them because I like them. And people are like, oh, why don't you like Meta? Why don't you like, you know, well, man, you know, I'm not going to get into why I don't like them, you know. That's kind of a topic of its own right, and it really determines on like your position for like humanity and morality. Like if you have like very strong moral values, then you don't want to know what the Mag 7 does. You don't want to go down that rabbit hole, because it's going to ruin all of your positions. You're going to want to close out everything if you have a moral compass. Most investors don't. They will. Most investors have no fucking heart. Like they're literally heartless. Like most investors look forward to war and chaos so they can make money. And that's just the reality of it, you know? Like if you want to know the damage that your 401k does to this world, you can go do the research, man. Like you can literally go do it yourself, but I promise you, it's not going to make you happy. Ignorance is bliss at the end of the day. You really shouldn't have to know all the nasty things that your money ends up doing in this world. And I'm not going to talk about it. I'll get whacked. I will literally get whacked so fast if I were to start talking about this stuff, that I'm just going to stay away. It's not my intention to fucking sound the fucking horn or blow any whistles or, you know, make enemies with some of the most powerful people in the world. It's not. I just want to live a nice and happy life. I really just want to live a nice and happy life at the end of the day. And if I have to buy Bitcoin and deliver food and start a fucking small business and take leverage positions to short the government and my own currency that I use, then I'll do it, man. Like it's like at a certain point, enough is enough. You know, you've had your fill. You've eaten enough shit sandwiches over the course of your life. You want something else. You know, you want to go sit by the beach, look at some Caribbean girls, and, you know, drink fucking, I don't know, pina coladas or some shit like that, you know? But I'm not here to fucking make enemies. That's why I'm not here to make enemies. So any weird algorithm that's watching me and monitoring what I say, y'all got it. I do not want that smoke. I do not want that. So y'all keep doing your thing. I'll keep trading your volatility to a certain extent if it's within my morals. But at the end of the day, I can just buy Bitcoin, you know? Like, every time I wake up and I see something fucked up happening in the world or within my own country, I just buy Bitcoin. It's a power play. It makes me feel happy. I wake up, I read the news headlines, I'm utterly disgusted, I buy Bitcoin. Simple as that. The more discontent I am with the state of my economy, country, and I guess just my own life, I just buy more Bitcoin. I just hit the buy button and then send it to cold storage. That is the power play. Bitcoin cold storage. As soon as I wake up, I'm thinking about how much Bitcoin can I put into cold storage? How much of this precious asset can I take off the market to where it's never seen again, and then hide it under a rock, and then bury it, and then like some, you ever like watch those movies where it's like, there's like this dark fucking castle, and there's this dungeon, and there's like this dude who has like spent like 15 years just like setting booby traps and like making it like this weird like labyrinthian puzzle that only like some sovereign hero of the ages can like fucking solve it. Like, that's me with cold storage. Like, I'm really just thinking about how much of this asset can I take off of the market and put it into cold storage so no one can ever get their hands on it again. And I'm never selling. It can go up to $1 billion per coin, and I'll never sell. I will never sell. That's what the equities and the Ethereum and the Solana are for. I'll happily trade Ethereum. I'll happily trade Solana. Take profit on BMNR at 5,000. Take profit on MSTR at $10,000 a share. Happily. But I'm never selling Bitcoin. The only time I will sell Bitcoin is when the buy button has been removed. Once there is no exchange or OTC desk that is selling Bitcoin, that is the only point where I will consider selling it, and I will not sell it for cash. I will never sell Bitcoin for USD. There has to be a new fiat currency that is backed by OnlyFans girls, and then at that point, I might consider buying into that. Because at least that's a system that I'll trust. I will happily buy a currency backed by pussy. That is the only currency that I will buy. I will sell Bitcoin to buy a fiat currency backed by pussy. At that point, I believe that we will achieve world peace. Once we can get all of these officials out of office and replace them with OnlyFans girls, I think at that point we will have world peace and abundance. We just have to take all of the money from the upper class and give it to all these OnlyFans girls. And I promise you, there will be no wars. There will only be peace, love, and gooning. So much gooning. But I'm not a gooner. I just support OnlyFans girls. And I don't even have an OnlyFans. I just buy Bitcoin. Why would I subscribe to an OnlyFans when I can buy Bitcoin, you know? But I support them. That's the difference. People are like, oh, well, aren't you like some fucking like holdings company and apothecary and holistic dude? Why are you mentioning OnlyFans girls on your fucking Fiat Farm blog? Because they are on the same shit. They are on the same shit as me. They are taking part in the greatest wealth transfer in the history of man. There has been no monetary event where so much money has flowed from one group of people into another in human history. This is like, what has happened over the past 6 years was like the AI bubble. I will call it the OnlyFans bubble. I support it. These females are fiat farming the fuck out of these guys. And I support it. Girl, get your money. I don't care what you do. It's not up to me. I'll never see it. I don't have an OnlyFans, but I support the hustle. Leverage yourself to put yourself in the best position so that you can live the life that you want to live. That is true capitalism. That is true capitalism. And I support it and I respect it. Not a lot of guys respect that shit, but I do. Why? Because it's something that only you could do. Now, if I was like that, and I had money like that, and I guess, you know, like I was on that gooning shit, hell yeah, but what the fuck? Y'all be doing this shit for $3 a month? Bruh, I can't even get a small fry for $3 a month. But you're telling me that I can see some of the baddest females on the earth and have conversations with them for $3 a month, and I get the first 30 days free? Bruh, Netflix don't even do this. Hulu doesn't even do this. I can't even get Apple Music for less than $5 a month. But you're telling me I can have a live conversation daily with my favorite streamer? You know what I mean? You see what I'm saying? You see what I mean? So, like, any guy that's, like, on OnlyFans, like, bro, I'm not dissing you at all, man. Like, I get it, bro. I get it. But I'm trying to run a business here, you know? And unfortunately, I have to make some sacrifices, you know? So, any guy out there that has an OnlyFans, Asian Bunny X, the hottest rice farmer, man, y'all go drop a 20 in her. Y'all go drop gifted subs, whatever the fuck they got going on OnlyFans. Y'all go just blow out your account for me. Spend a little bit more money for me, because that's some real shit right there. And any OnlyFans girl, I commend you for taking part in the greatest wealth transfer in the history of history. I don't know how long this is going to go for, but make sure that you're doing everything that you can to keep it going for the next generation. But back to the important stuff. I might have to edit all of that out. I might not. We'll see where my sovereign decision takes me, but yeah, I might have to edit that out. We'll see. But in any case, sovereignty, man, sovereignty. It's important that at the end of the day that I make my own choices. I make my own decisions. I tune out all the noise and all of the external influence, and I focus on what comes from within my source, you know? Because they say that everybody lives in their own world. And you know, to an extent, when you think about it, it may or may not be true. How I view the world as a shaman, a sovereign shaman at that, is vastly different than how anybody else sees the world. And it's really easy for me to practice sovereignty knowing that pretty much everyone in this world is going to disagree with me on basically everything. Once again, guys, I'm a shaman. I practice spirituality through nature. I commune with the conscious body of nature itself and the spirits that reside within it. No one's going to agree with me on that. No one's going to be like, oh, man, you talk to blades of grass. That's so cool, bro. What is the grass telling you, man? It's like, no, bro. No one, we're like, this dude, garden ass dude. Like, what do you like? No one's gonna listen to me. So it's really easy for me to practice sovereignty because I know that no one's going to agree with me from the get-go. I don't have to want other people to agree with me. I already know that my position on like religion, spirituality, and everything that's in between that is already on like the furthest opposite end of the spectrum as everybody else. So for me, doing my own thing just comes naturally because I'm already facing maximum opposition from the beginning. You know, I don't have to convince other people that, you know, nature loves you, that the earth views you as its child and wants to provide for you and basically take care of you for your entire duration on this planet. You don't have to convince me that vegetables are good for you. You don't have to convince me that an onion is medicine. Like, I might have to really convince somebody that the compounds inside of a fucking vegetable can literally heal you, but you know, I don't need to be convinced of that stuff, you know? So I practice my own sovereignty because it's very easy. Everyone disagrees with me. And there's probably a large portion of people out there that dislike me as well. So there's no incentive for me to want to do anything other than what I want to do, you know? Because it's like, if everyone's going to disagree with me and most people aren't going to like me, then what's the point of me trying to impress other people, make them agree with me, and make them like me? You know, it's like there's literally no incentive. There's no incentive at all. Because it's like, even if I do impress somebody, they may not like me. Even if I do make someone like me, they may not agree with me. And even if they do like and agree with me, I don't know, they just might not even want to be around me, you know? You're gonna be like, oh, on top of this dude being agreeable and likable, he's a shaman. I should stay away from him because, like, oh, black magic or whatever. Like, what? So it's super easy for me to say, fuck it, and buy Bitcoin and dump US dollars, which for most people, that's unconceivable. But for me, it's not. Doing the opposite is unconceivable, you know? Why would I put... ooh. What a pretty FRS. Sorry, I got distracted. There is like this beige FRS in front of me. I would show you guys, but I'm in a white 8.6, so like, you can just kind of imagine where I'm coming from right now. The beige FRS behind, oh yeah, this looks nice. I just love being in 8.6ville, man. Like, where we can all just come together as FRSs, BRZs, and 8.6s. Like, you can be an FRS with an 8.6 badge with a BRZ sticker on the back, or you can be an 8.6 and take the 8.6 logo off and just slap FRS there, or you can just have a fucking BRZ platform and then nobody knows what the fuck it is because you have Subaru, Scion, and Toyota logos all over it. Like, that's what life is all about, you know? We should be able to set aside our differences and know that we all stand on the base platform, you know? We're all humans. Like, I might call an FRS a BRZ, and I might call a BRZ an 8.6, you know? But at the end of the day, the love that we have for each other, it's universal, you know? 8.6s, BRZs, and FRS drivers, I would like to say we all love each other. We all equally understand where we are, and that we all just love each other, you know? And I think that's how humans should be as well. We shouldn't be, oh, you're this make and model, or oh, you're this make and model, or XYZ. Like, no, we all have the same base platform, you know? Like, we're all humans at the end of the day. There shouldn't be so much hate and divisiveness trying to figure out the small little differences that can set us apart, you know? Like, I should be able to drive alongside an FRS, a BRZ, and an 8.6 in happiness and harmony, you know? I really get when they say that BRZ drivers are gay, because I will come out and say that I'm a straight male, and I have nothing against the LGBT community. In fact, I have an insane amount of respect, admiration, and everything that goes along with that for that protective class of people. I'm not gay, but let me tell you, like, when I see another BRZ driver, like, we're basically kissing, bro. Like, we're basically kissing. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. Like, have you ever seen like the BRZ, like the Subaru driver's meme, and it's just like two black dudes kissing? Like, I'm not gonna say that's literally what happens, but like, whenever I speak with another like FRS driver or like a BRZ driver, like, we're like, oh, bro, man, we gotta link up sometime. We gotta go get some drinks, man. We gotta like take pictures of ourselves just like laying on top of our cars and like doing the go yayo pose. Nah, bro. Okay, I'm gonna stop. Hey, but y'all, but Fort Worth, y'all gotta take the L. Y'all can't forget, I do music too, so I can speak on that. I rap too, man. So Fort Worth, y'all gotta take the L for a minute, bro. But I'm gonna let that slide for this video. Don't go look it up. Do not go look that up, please. If you, I'm gonna have to edit out. Hey yo. I might have to edit that out, but if I don't, do not go look that up. Please do not go look that up. This is not for me to not put you on something. This is for you. Please do not go look that up. I'm trying to, let me help you. I'm probably going to have to edit that out. Okay, but anyway, like, yeah, man. Bitcoin sovereignty, Bitcoin sovereignty, sovereignty, Bitcoin, sovereignty, sovereignty, sovereignty. I am sovereign at the end of the day. I can do what I want, I can say what I want, I can feel what I want, and I don't really give a fuck what anything else says or has to have a position on that fact. Isn't it awesome to just be able to truly believe that nothing in this world has power over you besides yourself? It's actually kind of scary, because if you fuck up, then you're cooked. You can't blame it on anybody else. If I mess up my life, then I don't get to put it on another person or another entity and be like, oh, it's such and such fault that everything sucks for me. Oh, it's just that and the third. No, man. If I fail and my life goes to shit and I have an awful life that I just regret living every single second of, it's my fault. I fucked up at some point, you know? And fortunately got to pay those consequences, but I'm out here delivering food right now. Let's go get this bag. If y'all know where that noise comes from, y'all OG. Alright, and that was that. I'm up $35 in the day. It's basically 35% of my goal. And I think I started work like around like 12:30, like 12. Yeah, I'll like round up to 12:30. So like in an hour, I've made like $35, and I gotta go get some gas now, which is probably gonna take a little less than 40% of that money. But anyone who's telling me that DoorDash isn't a lucrative field, I just made $35 in an hour, man, and it's only 1 o'clock right now, so I can keep going for at least another 9. And if I hit anything similar to what I'm currently making, it's very likely that I could walk away with about $200 today in profit after paying for gas and everything. Looking good, looking good. Can't say I'm mad at that one, you know? Now I'm just trying to think of the fastest way to get back to this money and where I should also be. I think I'm just gonna go back to where I started. And I think this is the fastest way to get there. But in any case, you know, I feel like a lot of people like look and they're like, hey man, a lot of the topics that you talk about are really just difficult for me to wrap my head around, because it seems like you might have a background in no, don't have a background in anything, man. Don't have a background in anything besides singing and dancing. I'm a dance major. I didn't go to school for this. I definitely wasn't around a lot of financially literate people, you know, growing up. That wasn't obvious, but what I could say for some people who want advice from me is that I'm not willing to give you any advice. I have no advice for you other than to pursue your own form of sovereignty. Because what works for me is not guaranteed to work out for you. What can really help me might be the last thing you need to hear right now. The things that I'm doing to put myself in a successful position could utterly destroy you and your life. So if you want my advice, it's not to follow me or take insight from me or from anybody else. Just pursue your own form of sovereignty, man. Because if you do what calls to you and you follow what comes from your own heart, the universe is just gonna bless you, bro. Like coming from a shaman, if you do what you want to do and it aligns with your lifestyle and your belief structure, you're gonna do phenomenal. But if you try to copycat somebody else, you're gonna get cooked. You will literally get cooked. I don't think this is a world where you can just copy other people's success stories. You're not them, bro. You're not me. You might be able to benefit from the asymmetric information I have and leverage it to your advantage, sure. But if you try to copycat my exact playbook, you know, There's other things that you can do, because I can't see what you see, man. You might have a playbook already that works for yourself. It might be doing phenomenal. You don't need to corrupt that with what I'm talking about. The reason I come on here and make content and post these vlogs, these Fiat Farm vlogs, is so I can get paid. I'm gonna make whatever content that I can during the day in hopes that I get enough views to generate me like $1 so I can go buy more Bitcoin. It's not to help people. It's not to help you. It's not to put you in a better position. I'm literally just talking out my ass. I'm talking out of my ass and making content in hopes that it will put me in a better position. Now, will it? Fuck if I know. But if I don't, it's definitely not gonna happen, so I'm gonna try. You can take inspiration from me and be inspired and be like, oh man, look at this individual. He's working so hard. He's fired up. He wants to do X, Y, and Z. Yeah, man, I'm fucking inspired. I have high ambitions. I want a nice life for myself. I think that you should want the same, but you shouldn't necessarily do what other people tell you to. Now, the advice that I will give to you is to follow Pelagos Labs on X and on Instagram and join our Discord so you can be around like-minded individuals that also want to pursue their own form of sovereignty. And hopefully, at some point, once that community gets a bit more fleshed out and developed, there will be people that actually have great success stories and maybe will be able to help you and are willing to help you with things. I hope that somebody that wants to sell their house at some point meets a person who does real estate in there and can get real estate advice. I'm an apothecary. I can't tell you what to do, but if you know somebody who's sick or has some sort of medicinal related issues and wants a natural solution for that, I can help you through Pelagos and Wode's Apothecary. That's the advice I'm willing to give to you. To turn inwards and try to find solutions through community-based practices and approaches. I'm not going to tell you what to do with your life. I'm going to tell you to surround yourself with people that also are like-minded and have a similar view on sovereignty. Now, what you shouldn't do in this economy is just give up all of your value to people who don't care about you. I'll tell you what you shouldn't do. You should not do that. So if you're buying into somebody else's dream, if you're funding somebody else's lifestyle, maybe not the play right now. Like maybe a few years ago, maybe if things get better in several years from now, that'll change, but I don't think this is the season to have your value be extracted from you. Not by an employer, not by an individual, or by a name brand. This is really the time where you want to decide where you want yourself to be in the future. Like if you see everything getting worse around you, or maybe if you don't see it quite yet, maybe if you don't see that things are getting worse for basically everyone, but you kind of feel like things aren't really going the way that you had envisioned them, you might want to start getting a bit more defensive in life, you know? Like, you might want to start thinking about, hey, how do I at least maintain my quality of life over these next few years? Versus putting myself in a position to where that same quality of life is going to become more and more expensive to maintain. Now, there's nothing wrong with, you know, having a bit of fun or doing the things that you want to do, but I would recommend at least doing some level of opportunity cost on those same things, you know? That's just me. I can't tell you what to do, but you should at least know the opportunity cost for the decisions that you make. Now, what is a great thing to be doing right now? Traveling. Traveling is always a great thing to do. There's never a bad time to travel and see the world. there's a bad time to give up your money to major corporations and institutions and give away your freedom day by day. There's never a bad time to travel. I think South America and parts of the Pacific and Asia are a great visit. Hell, even India. There are some beautiful places in India that are rich with culture and have so much energy that you can just go there and literally let nature heal you just from standing on the very soil. And I don't tolerate any sorts of like, oh, well, this place is that and the people from here are this. Well, you're not going to find any sort of language for that type of shit with me. You can go find you can go read a comment section or go watch another person's video and have them reaffirm your dispositions and whatnot, but that's not me. Go check out China, go check out the Pacific, go check out India. If you live in a place where everything surrounds you is concrete, get the fuck out of there, man. Go to a rainforest or something. Go see a waterfall. I guarantee you the problems that you have in life right now will not be there when you are next to a waterfall. Go to another country, spend some time in nature, and see if you still have the same problems that you have right now. See if the same problems that give you so much stress, so much anxiety, that you just feel like the pressure of the world is on your shoulder, exists when you're in another country. Go to a place where the cost of living is basically nothing, where the area is rich with trees that produce fruit, and there's fucking waterfalls and monkeys and weird species of birds, and then ask yourself, where are all of your problems at? And you'll be really quick to find out that most of the problems that you have, unintentionally or not, you kind of just bring on yourself. That's going to be hard for a lot of people to hear, but I'm speaking from a position of sovereignty. If there's something that you don't like, or you feel like it's a burden or annoying to you, well, I'm sorry to let you know, but that's your own choice. It's your choice to let things tie you down. It's your choice to undertake responsibilities. It's your choice to live your life a certain way. So if you wake up every morning and you're like, fuck man, all I do is go to work, cry, and get abused by the people in my community, well, fuck man, it's your fault, bro. And if you clicked off this video just because I said that, well, you're only proving my point, you know? You do what you want to do in your life. And the things that you don't do because you don't do them in your life. Simple as that. If you in your lifetime never leave your country of birth and never get to see the vast open world, or travel across the oceans, well then that's your fault. You had the opportunity at some point. At some point you had the opportunity to make an exit strategy and take a risk and do something that had a low chance of success, but guaranteed that you would take the right steps in that direction, but you didn't take it. Like, the only reason I'm still in America right now is because it has more or less the best opportunity for you to make pretty good money, and then it's just an engine for you to make money and create wealth for yourself. As soon as I get a bag, I'm out of here, man. Like, you think I'm gonna buy a house? Think I'm gonna buy a house in America? Fuck no. I will buy 10 houses in 10 different countries before I buy one house in America. Simple as that. I might not. I am happy if I never buy a house, and if I do buy a house in America, I would have to have enough money to buy 10 houses in America. I will need to have at least $10 million before I buy one $400,000 house in America. Because that is not the play. That is not the play. Homeownership in America is a scam. It is the scam. And honestly, anything that you think that you should do in America is probably a scam. Anybody that said, hey, you should come to America, or you should be in America and do this, this, and this, is probably a scam, except running a business. But then again, nobody ever tells you to start a business, which is, it's kind of funny to think about that. They tell you to go buy a house and put yourself on a mortgage for 30 years with some randomized interest rate, but they don't want you to start a business. It's like, You know, it's like they want you to pay health insurance at an insane premium monthly when you might not get sick for 4 years, but they don't want you to exercise and eat healthy and have access to clean foods and water. It's like, so you're engineering the system so that I need to be dependent on you indefinitely and pay you just to be dependent with no guarantee that I'll ever actually need any of the services that you're offering. Yep. Car insurance, for example. Everybody you are not allowed to have a car unless you have car insurance, and you have to pay $200 a month to infinity and beyond just in case you bump into somebody's hoopty, and then the repairs are like maybe $1,500 at most, but you have to spend like $50,000 over the course of like 20 years, even if you're a defensive driver. It's like, bro, you might as well just hold inflated fiat and then just pay for the expenses up front. Because if you don't have any sort of insurance, you're going to be able to afford literally anything that happens. Especially if you have that money in assets. Like, what? It's like, bro, if you just don't buy insurance and you just buy Bitcoin, bro, you can cure cancer. You will literally cure cancer. But if you have fucking health insurance, you're going to, like, just be broke, I guess, and maybe get like the bottom of the barrel treatment from like some doctor at some point, because they're just gonna milk you for all of the money that you're willing to afford, and then like give you some subscription that you just have to buy into for the next 12 months that is engineered to not actually fix anything, but just provide some short-term level of symptom relief until you need to refill. It's like, bro, fuck, I'm talking about pharma. Please don't assassinate me. Please, I'm sorry. I'm getting off topic. God damn it. Alright. I might have to edit that out as well. Alright, if you're from a major institution, a pharmaceutical company, or someone that wants to suppress spiritual knowledge, I'm not picking a fight with you. I'm just going off on a tangent. YouTube, please suppress and demonetize this video. I don't want to die. Big Pharma, I have no beef with you. Buy subscription medication. Buy anti-anxiety drugs and SSRIs. There's nothing wrong with them. They are great. There's nothing wrong with prescription medication. The drugs that they give you do not create more problems than they are designed to solve. I promise you. I promise you. It's for your best interest to buy into Big Pharma. They are the truth.